Tell me, how many CAPFs are there?
What should be the strategy of Government of India to suppress naxalism? What motivated you to put CRPF as your first preference?
Tell me that how political stability influences the functioning of our armed forces.
May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good morning, sirs.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Vishal,
Yes, sir.
are you comfortable?
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable.
You want your interaction in Hindi or English?
Sir, I would prefer it to be in English.
English. So please introduce yourself.
Sir, my name is Vishal Sharma. I belong to Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
I've done my graduation in civil engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Jammu. Post that, I have been preparing for various defense exams. And my hobby is that I like to do fitness workouts.
Okay.
And I'm a hardworking and disciplined and responsible person. And I like to lead people and help them in teams.
Okay, Vishal, as we can see that you have done your graduation in engineering from IIT Jammu.
Yes, sir.
Right. So why this interest in uniform services and not maybe joining private sector?
Sir, in these uniform services like CAPF, I'll be exposed to a very vast job profile that will help me in improving my personality in a more holistic manner.
Right. So you are attracted to the CAPFs. But why you are not attracted to private sector? That is my question.
Sir, in the private sector, if I had to go to civil engineering field,
Right.
then I would have to choose one particular field like structural engineering, road transport, and I would have to make my career in that field only so as to progress further.
Right.
So my job profile would have been very much limited to a particular field. Here I'll be exposed to a large number of tasks on a daily basis. Someday I could be indulging in counterinsurgency, someday in civic action,
Okay.
someday in protecting some shrines, etc.
Okay. Don't you think grass always seems greener on the other side? It might not be exactly true. You might be posted in maybe one border area and there most of your career span would be spent. So any which ways, that's your choice. But tell me, how many CAPFs are there?
Sir, as per the current classification, there are 7 CAPFs.
Okay. Can you tell me their when they were established in chronological order?
Sure, sir. Sir, in the year 1835, Assam Rifles were established. Then in the year 1939, CRPF was established. Then in the year 1962, ITBP, and 1963, SSB, 1965, BSF, 1969, CISF,
Right.
and 1984, NSG.
Correct. Okay. And which is your first preference, Vishal?
Sir, my first preference is Central Reserve Police Force.
CRPF. So what makes CRPF different from these other CAPFs?
So CRPF is the primary agency that is handling all the internal security issues. It ranges from countering insurgency in the LW affected areas to militancy in J&K. In the northeast, it's also tackling militancy. Apart from it, it is giving some specific roles like protection of the...
What is Cobra Battalion?
Sir, Cobra is a specialized unit of the CRPF that was raised in 2008 to eliminate Naxalites from the deep-rooted jungles of the left-wing
What is the full
extremism.
form of Cobra?
Sir, it is Commando Battalion for Resolute Action.
Okay. And what is Greyhounds?
Greyhounds is a special unit of the Chhattisgarh Police, sir.
Chhattisgarh
is-
or Andhra Pradesh?
Sir, it is of... yes, sir, it is of the Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra
Greyhounds.
Pradesh, right. And what was Salwa Judum?
Sir, I am not aware about it at that
Thank you.
moment.
Vishal, who are the Naxals?
Sir, Naxals are basically people who have a very extreme left-wing ideology, and they believe that the people from the lowest rung of the economy are being oppressed by the people on the top of them, and they are being exploited by them, and they utilized armed means like armed attacks so as to destabilize the government and remove it and establish a people's government that is communist in nature.
Right. Why the concentration of naxalism is mostly in tribal areas of India?
So these tribal areas, the people are more concerned about their own cultures and traditions. So the government doesn't portray any kind of infrastructure development in these areas, owing to which there is a large distress in these people, and they believe that the other parts of country, since they are experiencing development, will move forward and they will remain forever suppressed. And that is why they are following this armed struggle so as to depose the government.
So what should be the strategy of Government of India to suppress Naxalism?
Sir, we have to adopt a two-pronged strategy in this case. Firstly, we have to follow military operations so as to identify hardcore Naxals and eliminate them or get them to surrender. And second approach is through winning hearts and minds of these people. We should bring infrastructure development projects over there as per their suited needs of these tribal areas, and we should try to include them in the political democracy of the country by asking them to surrender their arms and join the political way of democracy through protesting, making political parties, participating in election, this way.
Right. You have been the cultural secretary of IIT Jammu.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you have given the task of showcasing the unique cultural aspects of Jammu and Kashmir. What things will you pick from there?
So there are a number of things that can be done. Like Kashmir has a different dance form, especially of different tribes, like the Pahadi dance, the Gaddi dance. So these dance forms can be depicted. Apart from that, there are songs of various tribes, especially the Ladakhi tribes have their own song. The Pahadi and Gaddi tribes have their songs for transhumans. So these songs can also be presented to the people. And there can be Nukkad Nataks that can be organized so as to propagate the problems that are experienced by these people. We can also organize debates in various locations so as to propagate the issues that J&K people are facing and how we can help them overcome these.
Right. You are a passionate debater, but in armed forces, usually debates are not that much entertained. There are certain fundamental rights which are somehow curtailed if you are joining the armed forces. Which fundamental rights are they basically?
Sir, as per the Article 33 of the Constitution, the CAPFs and all the armed forces of the nation have to have all the fundamental rights curtailed as per the needs of the central government as and when they say so. So typically we don't have the right to express ourselves completely as we wish. We have to limit our expression as per the central government.
Right.
And we have to limit our movement as per the central government. So all kinds of fundamental rights.
My last question is that what motivated you to put CRPF as your first preference?
Sir, among all the CAPFs, the most diverse job profile is being offered by the CRPF. It is engaging in counterinsurgency, civic action, protection of shrines, VIP protection.
Right, fine. Thank you.
Vishal, what is a dogfight?
So dogfight is an expression that is used to express fighting between two fighter aircrafts in the air.
Okay, perfect. You have interest in debating also. We constantly hear this issue where people argue that whether complete statehood should be given to Delhi or not. Please choose whether you would like to defend this motion or go against it.
Sir, I would go against it.
That is, Delhi should not be given the statehood.
Yes, sir.
Would you also like to put forward certain arguments?
Definitely, sir. Delhi happens to be the national capital of our country. So there has to be a large amount of central government presence over there. Secondly, we have to make it presentable to the foreigners. And for that, we need to incorporate certain cleanliness, law and order measures, which will be better if they will be taken in hands of the central government only. Thirdly, sir, as we saw in the recent excise policy case, if the state government makes policies in its own interest, then we may face issues of lack of revenue generation in the city, which will ultimately impact the developmental measures. And fourthly, this city happens to be a major attraction for various kinds of immigrants. And these immigrants may pose various security challenges to the city in the forms of sleeper cells, and terrorist activities.
Okay.
So it is very necessary.
Fine, Vishal. Vishal, tell me that how political stability influences the functioning of our armed forces.
So political stability has a profound effect on the functioning of the armed forces. If a particular government remains for a complete term in the center, then the policies of the defense forces can be aligned in a certain way throughout their time.
Mhm.
In addition, we can also call for, like the defense forces at the top level can meet with the government on a frequent basis and exchange their ideas with the central government, which will definitely align in a period of time if the government remains stable
Okay,
and
perfect.
they can carry out development.
Vishal, the government of India has a designated office of the National Security Advisor.
Yes.
What are the prime roles and functions of this office?
So the National Security Advisor, the main responsibility of his are that firstly he has to plan all the activities that the defense forces undertake so as to ensure the security of the nation. Secondly, in events of any kind of security crisis, he has to coordinate with all the defense forces.
He acts
so
as the
as
chief
to-
coordinator also.
Yes,
Okay, who is the current NSA of India?
sir. It is Mr. Ajit Doval IPS.
Okay. My final question to you. In a recent discussion, NSA has recommended that maybe we should think about the integration of the CAPFs also on the lines of the theatre commands for the armed forces. What is your take on this view?
Sir, I agree with his view that we should definitely go for the theaterization. The CAPFs have been trained in a large number of job profiles as they serve in various fields, but their training is almost similar to each other. And there is a lot of interoperability in them, like in the LW areas, the BSF, CRPF, SSB, ITBP, CISF, all are functioning. So rather than putting one battalion each of these forces in different places, we can unite them by utilizing each of others' expertise,
and we can
in
have a
tackling
perfect
challenges.
mix.
Definitely,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
Vishal, you come from Jammu,
Yes, sir.
right? How do you see the revocation of Article 370? Has it helped? Is the situation as it was before?
Sir, there have been both merits and demerits to the revocation of Article 370. If I talk about the merits, then we are seeing various developmental measures coming to the state, like
Okay. Three countries actually opposed, officially, when Article 370 was revoked. One was Pakistan. Which were the other two?
Sir, as per my limited knowledge, first should be China, definitely,
Yes.
and third could be Iran, probably.
No. It was a neighboring country only.
It could be Bangladesh, sir.
Okay, it was Nepal actually, right? So what territorial dispute we have with Nepal?
Sir, Nepal has a territory called, we have a territory that is Lipu Lake, Kalapani, and Limpiadura. So these parts are called by Nepal as per the Treaty of Sagholi as part of their own territory.
Okay.
But we say that the Indo-Nepal Friendship Treaty of 1950 had declaimed their territory claim, and now it is our territory.
Okay. Vishal, recently elections had taken place in many of our neighboring countries,
Yes,
right? Namely Maldives, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, right? Can you tell me who have become the president or prime ministers in these countries?
Yes, sir. Sir, in Pakistan, we saw Shehbaz Sharif as the Prime Minister.
Okay.
In Bangladesh, we saw Sheikh Hasina,
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. And in Maldives, we saw the President Muizzu.
Muizzu.
And in Bhutan, we saw PM Sherin Topke. And in Nepal, we saw again a confidence vote was put in a few days ago, and it was Pushp Kamal Prachanda as the PM.
Pushp Kamal Dahal, huh? Prachanda. Okay. My final question to you, Vishal, and this is about a situation. So let's suppose that you have entered into the services, right? Now you are posted in an area where the security of that place is under your command, and you receive a tip off that tomorrow the exam that is going to happen, for which a lot of students will be coming from various other outside of that place also. Now there's a tip off that the paper will be leaked using internet, right? So you have option of doing a complete internet shutdown, which will obviously help in stopping the paper leak, but at the same time it will inconvenience the public at large. And the other option is to maybe try and catch the person who are behind that, ensuring that the least inconvenience is caused to the public. So what option will you choose and how you will go about it?
So firstly, I'll try to verify the threat that has been percepted through various intelligence agencies. If that threat comes out to be true, then I'll first set out to identify the perpetrators who are planning to leak. We can utilize various cybersecurity forums for this place, like utilizing government agencies like CERT-In and
Correct.
NCIIPC, and thereafter identifying the the perceptors of this plan. We can nab them, bring them to our headquarters, and question them regarding the paper leak.
But obviously the time is very less for doing all of this,
Yes, sir.
because even interagency coordination takes time. The exam is tomorrow. In the evening you have received the tip off.
Sir, if by the time that exam has to take place and the leak has not happened, if I'm able to nab them, then we can keep conducting the exam. Whereas if we are unable to nab them, then we can push the authorities to postpone the exam to a further date.
So the people who have come from far off places, you will ask them to go back again, come back on some other date.
Sir, I believe for them it will be more convenient to go back rather than sit in an exam that would be unfair to them.
And what about the internet shutdown? You will not use that option, the easier option.
So internet shutdown will be through a very large place, and that place may also include various civilians who may be engaged in various crucial tasks. So it may affect their functioning.
Okay, Vishal, your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Please come. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Vishal,
Yes, sir.
this is going to be your first interview
Yes, sir.
and first attempt also.
Yes, sir. First attempt.
Okay, very good. How was your experience today?
Sir, it was very nice.
Okay. Any area you feel that you could have done better?
So probably the SRT that you asked in the end,
Right.
and one question about J&K culture that sir had asked, that could have been tackled better.
See, Vishal, we found you to be a very good candidate, and you are almost ready for giving a very good interview there, right?
Thank you, sir.
So, but yes, there's a very fine line between confidence and overconfidence.
Sure, sir.
So we have to manage that, okay?
Yes, sir.
See, everything is fine. When you enter the room, right, seek permission. When they ask you to come, then stand besides the chair, greet the board nicely. When they ask you to sit down, you sit down and thank them, and then the interview starts, right? So only thing was about the SRT only, that the situation was there where internet shut down, right? That's a brute force method, but then that is a method which is used most often by the security agencies, right? Because
Yes,
that's an easy way to maybe stop something. And you also need to look at the other side, no? Okay, yes, public will be inconvenienced, but at what cost? And if we don't do that, then what cost or what implications are there, right? So we need to make a choice based on these parameters, right? So in these questions, it is not a yes or no answer or right or wrong answer. It is how you argue. But yes, you could have given maybe some technological solutions, right? Maybe use of jammers in certain centers, so that you need not disrupt the internet everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you need to look at all the sides, no? तो हर चीज को थोड़ा पॉसिबिलिटीज को सोचते हुए मेरे ख्याल से आप आंसर दे सकते हैं, ठीक है? बट इवन अदरवाइज यू, आई थिंक योर स्टैंड वाज फाइन, ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. और इसके अलावा बिकॉज यू आर कमिंग फ्रॉम जम्मू, तो you should be aware about Article 370, its implications, which were the things that were changed to do this, right? And recently a movie has also come on that, so maybe something can be asked on that. ठीक है, इलेक्शंस पे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है. तो हर जगह पे आपको बस ये करना है कि यू नीड टू स्टे अलर्ट, लिसन टू द क्वेश्चन, अंडरस्टैंड इट्स मीनिंग एंड द इंटेंशन, कि क्या मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहे हैं, व्हाट दे वांट टू हियर, एंड मे बी डिलीवर इट. ओके, कीप योर आंसर टू द पॉइंट एज फार एज पॉसिबल. ठीक है, जनरली वी फाउंड दैट एवरीथिंग वाज वेल इन प्लेस. ठीक है, सो नो एक्स्ट्रा सजेशन फ्रॉम आवर साइड, गो विथ कॉन्फिडेंस. यहाँ नहीं आता है आपको, फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन है, एडमिट इट ऑनेस्टली, राइट. और अगर कहीं ऐसा लगता है कि 70-80% आई नो बट पूरी तरीके से नहीं आता है, देन ऑलवेज सीक परमिशन ऑफ द बोर्ड. सॉरी सर, आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट आंसर, बट इफ़ यू परमिट मी देन आई कैन मेक एन अटेम्प्ट. ठीक है, 99% ऑफ द टाइम्स दे विल अलाउ यू. तो उसके बाद इफ़ योर आंसर इज़ रॉन्ग देन ऑल्सो इट डजंट गो अगेंस्ट यू. बट अगर आपने अंदाजे से कुछ बोल दिया, गलत जाता है, तो दैट पुट्स अ क्वेश्चन मार्क ओवर योर इंटीग्रिटी, राइट. सो वी शुड अवॉइड दैट. ओके, एनी क्वेश्चन यू हैव?
यस सर. सर मल्टीपल टाइम्स देयर वर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम योर साइड जिसमें मैं कुछ बोल रहा था,
हाँ,
आपने बीच में एक और उस पर
interrupt किया.
फॉलो अप कर दिया,
Yes.
काइंड ऑफ. तो उस
ऐसे में-
सिचुएशन में क्या करना
हाँ,
चाहिए?
ऐसे में आपको एकदम इमीडिएटली स्टॉप करना है. ठीक है, नेवर स्पीक ओवर द बोर्ड मेंबर, राइट. तो क्या होता है कि जनरली बोर्ड मेंबर व्हेन दे रियलाइज कि यू नो द आंसर और यू डोंट नो द आंसर, दे विल चेंज द क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, आई एम सेटिस्फाइड कि ओके आप बता रहे हो मुझे, तो मुझे कुछ और पूछना है, तो मैं आपसे दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. ऐसे में आपको यू हैव टू स्टॉप देयर. ठीक है, यू हैव टू yield द फ्लोर. द बोर्ड मेंबर चेंजेस द क्वेश्चन, डोंट बी इन अ हैबिट कि हाँ मुझे तो आप 2 लाइन और बोल के अपने आंसर को कंप्लीट करना है.
तो
It's
सर
not
ये
a
एक
main answer है.
इम्प्लीकेशन है कि आपको पता है, उन्हें ये बात समझ में आ गई.
यस, उनको समझ में आ गया है ईदर वेज. ठीक है, एंड दे वांट टू चेंज द क्वेश्चन.
एंड
तो
सर
स्टॉप.
जब मैंने 370 का पूछा तो
हाँ.
आप मतलब आपने जब पूछा
हाँ
तो मैंने बोला कि देयर आर वेरियस मेरिट्स एंड डीमेरिट्स ऑफ
हाँ.
370.
हाँ हाँ
आपने वहीं पे ही मेरे को इंटरफेयर कर दिया था.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
तो
yes.
लाइक
तो वहाँ आपको रुक जाना है. मतलब दैट मीन्स कि आई एम नॉट नो लॉन्गर इंटरेस्टेड इन नोइंग अबाउट दैट. मे बी आई हैव अंडरस्टूड कि यस यू नो, ठीक है, बट आई वांट टू आस्क यू समथिंग एल्स. तो वहाँ आपको रुक जाना है. ओके, तो ऐसा कोई भी कंपल्शन नहीं है कि ये मेंस का आंसर है और आपको कंप्लीट करना है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. इंटरव्यू इज लिटिल डिफरेंट. तो अगर बोर्ड मेंबर इज चेंजिंग द क्वेश्चन, गो विद द फ्लो. ठीक है, स्टॉप.
एंड सर आपने जैसे स्टार्टिंग में मीडियम पूछा,
हाँ
तो आपने पूछा एज फार एज आई हैव गॉट टू नो फ्रॉम अदर कैंडिडेट्स,
हाँ.
ऐसा मीडियम नहीं पूछा जाता है.
हाँ हाँ.
इज इट अ बेटर प्रैक्टिस कि अगर आप मुझसे हिंदी में पूछ रहे हैं तो मैं हिंदी में जवाब दूं,
Yes,
और इंग्लिश
that
में
is
पूछ रहे हैं
that
तो
is
इंग्लिश
the
में?
best way. See, in mock interview we have to actually ask the candidate, right, कि उनके preference क्या है. वहाँ actually interview में तो ऐसा होगा कि they may ask you directly कि introduce yourself. तो जो हिंदी वाला होगा वो शायद अपने आप को हिंदी में इंट्रोड्यूस कर देगा, या जो बाइलिंगुअल होगा वो अपने आप को इंग्लिश में इंट्रोड्यूस करते हुए बोल देगा कि आई एम बाइलिंगुअल सर, आई प्रेफर हिंदी. तो एनी विच वेज, राइट. तो आइडिया इज़ बेसिकली कि वहाँ मीडियम नहीं पूछा गया है, लेकिन हो सकता है अगर वो हिंदी में पूछ रहे हैं आपसे तो हिंदी में जवाब दीजिए. यू कैन यूज़ टेक्निकल वर्ड्स इन इंग्लिश.
अच्छा,
ठीक है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कॉम्बैट का अब आप हिंदी सोचिए, नहीं, कॉम्बैट को कॉम्बैट बोलिए. ठीक है ना. तो इस तरीके से टेक्निकल वर्ड्स अगर जब इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे तो हिंदी इज़ नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. इनफैक्ट और ज़्यादा मेरे ख्याल से आसान हो जाएगा. बट स्टिल आई थिंक योर मीडियम शुड बी इंग्लिश. बट येस, इफ़ एनी मेंबर आस्क यू ए क्वेश्चन इन हिंदी, तो आप हिंदी बोलिए, हिंदी में आंसर दीजिए, बट इंग्लिश के वर्ड्स यूज़ करते हुए. ठीक है.
ओके. एंड सर जब मैंने एंट्री ली थी तो आई ग्रीटेड यू वाइल वॉकिंग.
इट इज़ मच बेटर कि आप स्मार्टली आ जाएं, चेयर के पास रुक जाएं, फिर आप ग्रीट करिए. इतना लंबा डिस्टेंस नहीं होगा. यहाँ जैसे डिस्टेंस थोड़ा ज़्यादा लग रहा है, तो पॉइंट इज़ कि मतलब कई बार कैंडिडेट्स को ऐसा लगता है कि वो मतलब आई कांटेक्ट हो गया तो फटाफट ग्रीट कर लिया.
वही डर लगता है.
हाँ, बट इट इज़ मच बेटर कि आप स्मार्टली, इसीलिए स्मार्टली आना है. स्मार्टली आके ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लेते हुए चेयर के सामने खड़े हो जाइए, सबको देखते हैं, ग्रीट.
एंड सर डिस्टेंस लाइक बैठने का इतना ही रहता है जितना?
नहीं, इससे कम हो सकता है.
कम
यहाँ थोड़ा सा मतलब डिस्टेंस थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, और इससे डिस्टेंस कम हो सकता है. टेबल कैन बी लिटिल स्मॉलर देन दिस. तो थोड़ा ये सब चीज़ों का मतलब वो डिपेंड करेगा, अलग अलग रूम्स में भी डिफरेंस हो सकता है.
एंड सर आप सब मेल मेंबर्स हैं,
हाँ, वहाँ अगर लेडी मेंबर
फीमेल
है
होती है तो किस तरह से ग्रीटिंग देनी
तो
चाहिए?
जनरली सी उसमें आप अलग अलग वेरिएशंस हैं, बट जनरल कन्वेंशन इज़ कि अगर फीमेल मेंबर हैं तो उनको पहले आप ग्रीट कर लीजिए. ठीक है, और बाकी मेल मेंबर्स को एक साथ गुड मॉर्निंग सर्स या गुड आफ्टरनून सर्स बोल दीजिए. ठीक है, तो दैट इज़ मोर कन्वीनियंट. तो मेरे ख्याल से वो करना बेटर रहेगा. ठीक है, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट.
थैंक यू सर.